Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League intern, Justin Deweese, and we're doing a series where we're talking to Great Lakes alumni that made it to the majors. And today we have Phil Klein. Phil, thank you for joining us.
Hey, it's no problem.
I'll give a brief introduction about Phil and his MLB career. He played with the Licking County Settlers in the Great Lakes League, and then with the Texas Rangers and the Philadelphia Phillies in the majors. From 2014 to 2016, he had a 2-3 record as a relief pitcher, a 5.5 ERA, and in 55 2/3 innings, he threw 54 strikeouts. So, Phil, if you could start off by giving us a little background about yourself, where you grew up, where you played high school and college, your journey to the majors, and anything about your personal life, if you'd like to.
Yeah. So I guess a quick rundown. I was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio. Grew up there in 24 years or so till I left. Went to school at Gehanna-Lincoln, which is just kind of on the east side of Columbus, maybe 20 minutes, 15 or 20 minutes. Spent 4 years there, went up to school to play college ball at Youngstown State University up northeast Ohio. 4 years there. My first summer I played in the Atlantic Collegiate League out on Long Island. Enjoyed it. Had a really good year. That was kind of a first intro to summer ball and kind of collegiate summer ball and what that's like versus, a school season. So that was fun to get some, experience there. And then 2009, 2010 summer, played with the Licking County Settlers. I don't know if that's still the name of the team, but it
They
was
just
then.
switched. So they're now the Ohio Bison.
Okay, Ohio Bison, that's cool. Mm-hmm. So 2 years there, enjoyed it. Made a lot of friends that way. Drafted by the Rangers in 2011, and then that's kind of where the pro ball career took off. Was able to get a degree after kind of that first half season of pro ball. Since when you get the June draft, you only get kind of a half year there. But then following that, so that first off season, I went back and took my last 2 classes online and was able to get my degree in finance, which was awesome. My mom was pushing me to do that pretty hard, as any good mom should. So I was glad she did that. Personal life, I have a twin brother, Mitch. Everyone's back home in Columbus, Ohio still. But me and my wife, Lindley, are living here in Prosper, which is just north of Dallas, maybe 40 minutes. And then we just got like a 1.5-year-old son, Brighton, who's just taken over life now. So fully into adult mode at this point in my life.
Could you describe your fondest memory in your entire baseball career?
Yeah, man, I had so many just playing for, from, coach pitch all the way up through, to the big leagues. It's a lot of years of baseball, a lot of, people come and go, coaches and whatnot. So there's a ton of them, but I mean, I don't think anything would top just getting the first call up to the big leagues and being in. I came from AAA and having the manager call you in and tell you you're going up there, and he was trying to fake me out a little bit since I'm from Columbus, Ohio. The Rangers at the time were going on a road trip to Cleveland, and so I walk into the office and he's, he just kind of says some things for just small talk for a minute or two, and says something about me getting my parents' tickets for the Cleveland game or something. And I kind of took a minute because I was, we're down here in Texas, and I was like, what do you mean the Cleveland game? And they finally was, telling me, hey, congrats, man, you're going up to the big leagues. And my heart felt like it about went through the floor, and I'm surprised I didn't black out at that point. But it was crazy because it's a fast turnaround, right? It's not like they tell you and I got a week to, let it sink in and do all this. It's like, that night, or I think maybe early next morning, I think I was on a plane. So trying to text my family and my parents, telling them I'm going up, because I mean they were playing the next day, right? This isn't like a long time in between. Hey, I'm coming to Cleveland. That's like all I sent out, because I had to pack. I had like a lot of stuff going on. I couldn't make a long note about it. So went up there for that series, and I mean it was out of control. I had probably 50 or 75 or so family and friends that all came to the game. Just being 2 hours away and going to school up kind of near Cleveland, they were all there, and it was a blast, man. It was something I'll never forget.
That sounds really nice, especially because it was so close.
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome.
What would you describe was your your favorite memory in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League.
Favorite memory? I don't know if I could think of one. I know in 2009 we got in the playoffs and had a really good team. So that whole year was fun, and that was my first year just going to that league. So for me, I always enjoyed, getting to meet new people. And so, I mean, I don't think I knew – let me think back. I don't think I knew a single person that was coming to that team. So I still remember to this day specifically, that first kind of meet and greet, lunch or dinner or kind of whatever we had down near the city, and meeting all the guys. And it's funny from that time when you first introduced into when you get to playing and stuff, it gets real natural and you start making friends. And it's cool to hear everyone's story because again, they come from schools all over the country. So it's cool to get some different perspective and different background on how they grew up and where they came from. So that was enjoyable. And like I said, having a good team is always fun too. So we won some ball games and got to the playoffs. So I enjoyed that season a lot.
What part of your time in the Great Lakes League would you say was most beneficial in helping you get to the majors eventually?
Yeah. So I think the competition for starters was big, just to get into that and again, see some guys you wouldn't usually see during the school season or whatnot, kind of out of your league. But for me, and this may be a small thing, but for me, it was enjoyable to throw to some wood bats and kind of start to see what you can do with that. And being, if you throw one inside or outside to righty and kind of seeing how it comes off the handle or the end of the bat or whatnot, and getting a little different than a school season where it's metal bats and you can kind of get away with some things. And this was, kind of the 2010-ish or a little bit sooner than that, when the bats were just out of control before they made some changes to it. So nice to get a good feel for the wood bats, and especially for the sake of anyone with professional aspirations, to just see how that reacts and kind of the swings you get with the wood bats compared to metal bats.
We've created this series to kind of help college players out that didn't have a season this year, and any advice for them would be great. So from a player's perspective, how would you say that professional baseball would be different than college or summer ball, which these guys have only been familiar with?
Sure. I mean, it's definitely different. I think the first thing that pops off is just the amount of time that goes into it. I mean, school time-wise is similar just because you have classes and then you got to go practice and work out and kind of do all those things. So by the end of it, a lot of hours during each day is taken up with that. Summer ball is a little bit more laid back just because obviously you don't have, school or anything going on for most people. But pro ball is crazy just because people that don't know it, think they just come up to the field and show up an hour before the game and put the cleats on and go play. But in reality, that 7:05 game, we're, especially as a rookie or a younger guy, I mean, you're there at noon, and then you play a game, however long that takes, 3 hours if you're lucky, and you might be leaving the field at 11:30. So there's, at least at minimum 10 hours a day, and you get, 2 off days a month. It's not like you get the weekends off. And that's 60, 70-hour weeks pretty easily with no time off. So that part of it, I think, was tough to get used to. And it's like you're going to practice every day. You're going to take BP every day. It's not like you're just playing, those couple games on the weekends like you do in school. So just getting used to that. But at the end of the day, also it's baseball's your job. So you don't have to worry about school, which was nice, and doing all that. So you got, fully focused on your craft and whatever you're doing. So that was, that's kind of the biggest jump that I would say from going from a college or summer season up to pro ball.
What advice do you have for current collegiate players? And is there any additional advice that you would give based on the current circumstances that we're all in?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just answer as just like it would be me and kind of what I would do. So things and aspects of the game that are out of my hands is tough to deal with. So all they can do is control their body, their practice, what they're doing to get themselves ready, not knowing when that might be, if that will happen, any kind of, professional aspirations, the draft already this year was a lot different. So we'll see what goes on with the next year. But again, at the end of the day, if it's something you're passionate about and you got to make sure you put the work in and get ready to go. So when that when that season starts, or whatever kind of call you might be getting, you got to make sure you're ready to go regardless. So I don't think that a scenario like this is so unique. I don't think there's really been a playbook of how to handle it and really what the best way to handle it is. So I think you just got to be ready and be ready for whatever happens. Get your body ready and make sure you're ready to throw a hit and do whatever you got to do.
Yeah, and I know you want to talk a little about just the lifestyle of being a professional player and just how the different paths to the majors may look like. I know every player has a different story, so if you want to just touch on yours a little
Absolutely.
bit and those.
Absolutely. So mine was, I signed as a senior, so 4 years after school, senior signed, 30th rounder, so not a high round pick. But for me, I took it. I'd always been an underdog. I'd always been a late bloomer, so that fit right into kind of my philosophy and my mantra there. But I knew as soon as I got drafted and just got into an organization, I think everyone essentially starts from square one. It doesn't matter how hard you threw, how great your school was, how many College World Series you went to. Everyone starts there. Most people start off in rookie ball. Usually the higher round picks they might start in, one of the A balls or something. But not for me. I hit every level. So I got into the rookie ball and was there my first year. The last month or so, went up to the short season team. So the Rangers at the time had six minor league teams. They had a rookie ball team. They had a low A short season team. They had a low A full season team, a high A team, double A, triple A. So that was kind of the steps you had to hit. And it was, every year you can move up and down, as many times as need be. And for me, I learned again early that you can't take what other people are thinking, or you can't try and worry about other people beside yourself and what the scouts are saying, what the coaches are saying, because it all just ends up being noise and it doesn't help you perform. So if I'm out there thinking about, what these 10 or 12 people are thinking about me, it's going to be really hard to focus and do what I know I need to do. So I knew I had to focus on just getting better and performing, because that's the only way I was going to go up, especially as a late round guy. Some of the first round guys or top round guys can kind of get away, and they're obviously good enough and saw something for them to develop pretty quick and get them through the system quick. But I knew, being the 30th round guy, there's my son, he's chiming in. But I knew being a late round pick, I had to really perform, and that was the only way I was going to move up. So starting off and going up through, especially as a reliever, I knew my chances might be limited, and you get a couple outings a week maybe, and I knew I had to make something of it, and ended up throwing really well in the minor leagues, got some confidence, and really propelled through there pretty quick for being a late round guy. And then, once you got the big leagues, it's another different ball game. Those are the best hitters in the world. It's a pitcher that I was facing, and it shows, man, because you miss a pitch here and there, and it's rare that they're gonna mess up. They'll usually make you pay for it. The first batter I faced in Cleveland, I got called up in front of my entire family and friends group, was Lonnie Chisenhall, home run, first guy facing the big leagues. And I just remember turning around smiling, and I don't know how many people were there, but I just thought to myself, like, welcome to the big leagues. Like, I had like a rookie moment, and I was just like, well, yeah, this is going to be pretty tough, I guess. So I just kind of buckled down from there.
Phil, thanks for taking the time to talk to us and give these players some experience from someone who's been there before, because we have a lot of players who would have played in our league this year that have the aspirations of making it to the majors one day. So thank you very much for your time.
Hey, you got it. Best of luck, everyone. I know it's tough times out there, man, but just keep your head down and keep going forward with it. And that's all you can do. That's all you can ask for. Appreciate it, Justin.